Hello, we are live on YouTube as well. We're talking about birthing the spirit. We're connected to both Instagram and YouTube. We're talking about birthing, which is kind of like what we're doing here, bringing in the awareness of our spiritual being, of that spiritual connection. And some people will find this live and some people will listen to it later. And that's the beauty of this, that everybody hears it differently and everybody hears it when they need to, which is because we're all at different places. So, and this is not just a focus to kind of feed the mind. The mind is fed too much in a sense. So the mind has been fed so much that we kind of lost connection with spirit. Yet spirit is everything we're connected to. We're always there, but it's kind of like the matrix, it's unseen. So then to kind of birth the spirits will seem strange. But as I found this tool of the body, that there seemed to be this unseen force in the body, this unseen life in the body that we could connect with. And then as we connect with it, our body shifts. So it seems to be this energy. We can use the word energy, but it's awake. It's not just water has energy or electricity has energy, but it's actually awake. It's listening energy. And that's kind of the word for spirit. Spirit means kind of awake. So to become awake to our spirit, or awake to life, or awake to our body, then we can come to experience that the body is listening to us. So that's in that connection that we are birthing the spirit. So this is kind of an alchemical process. And I can use all these words, and most of these words everybody has heard. That's the fun thing about spirituality or religion or philosophy. Everybody uses every word. So that's why the words kind of lose their efficiency or effectiveness. Because people use it, they think they know, and then they start using all the words to kind of seem knowledgeable. So that's kind of how we are trained. We are trained to learn stuff, to memorize it, and thus we seem knowledgeable. But kind of true knowing is an act of listening and not an act of knowing. So the more you know, the more you experience, the more you will always just grab for your experiences to, and your knowledge to kind of engage with things. Yet so then you're always kind of in an alertiveness, or kind of you engaged with life, you engaged with the mind, because you're always using it to understand everything. And yet the mind has many other different ways of being used, where the mind is more receptive and open and able to grow, because in a way our mind when we just learn stuff, we learn it through the ego. We get like an ego from our parents and from society. We get kind of habits, and gradually we get used to this habit, and it creates certain comfort for our parents and for us and for our friends and for our family and for our brothers and sisters. So we create an identity of like male, female, color of skin, happy, sad, loving, more smart, like all these different, or more like physically fit or attractive. All these things are getting put on us. So we engage with life through this, and then we start learning, building, but we are building it from the base of this identity of the ego. So the energies, we've kind of made this ego, or it's become made upon us. And from that base, we're starting to expand. But the base is very little, because we're an ego as gets compressed, and it can only hold this much. And if it's too much energy, it will fall, like a glass that is like too small of a base. So that's where like we can't really hold too much energy. So that's where like the body actually becomes kind of frail after a while. You kind of get tired. Well, if you, to kind of birth the life and spirit has like so much energy available. But to birth that, we kind of have to go back to look at our ego and to dare to let go of our ego. Daring to let go of our kind of our all qualifications of who we are. And when we do, we actually kind of, our whole body can shift down, and we return down to the base again, to our ego. And there, when we release this base, the base expands. And from there, we actually naturally connect with energy or with life in a different way. So then it becomes more like water. It flows upwards. It doesn't just build, but it flows. But it flows from more of a loose base. The base isn't limited. So when it's like expanded like this, then it can hold, you can allow more energy to flow up. And the higher you go, you don't topple, because the base is like expanded and limitless. So as your ego becomes limitless, you also can hold limitless energy. And in that, the energy dynamic becomes not from the mind and control and learning, but it becomes from unlearning or from just allowing. So that energy becomes one of listening and engaging. And that then energy becomes alive and pulsating and breathing in you. And that energy is spirit. Then you can see that energy becomes spiritual. The energy is awake. So this is kind of a different way of engaging with the body, and it creates a whole different body. And that's where you can say you're birthing your spirit, because you're birthing spiritual energy or awake energy within the body. And it actually creates a more harmonious, harmony and healthy body. And it also kind of, in that energy, you become aware of the energy consciousness, which becomes your spiritual being. So you're kind of creating your immortal or crystalline being, which then becomes something that is untouched and unharmed by any outer drama, because you're not creating it from drama, you're not creating it from knowledge, which is outside learning about life, but you are doing it from internal wisdom and and power. So that's what we're doing. If you were confused. So this is different than what most traditions are focused on, because it's kind of like an unseen, unknown path. It has always been there, and people have kind of sometimes unconsciously birthed this and kind of created little teachings that kind of focus on it, sometimes true, but it hasn't really been stable here on Earth. But now, as more freedom comes into humanity through this pandemic and such, the energy dynamic of Earth is allowing and opening for people to start making that choice, because this still needs to be happen from choice. It will not just happen to you. It can, but very seldom that you are just, it suddenly just happened. Now it can more happen from choice, but that's why we are creating this intention to birth this. And that's what we do here on Wisdom Wednesdays and on my retreats and on one-on-ones. It's kind of setting a dynamic where we are all in equality, equal. So we're setting a space where we're not gender focused or color focused, where spiritual energy can come in and we can allow this upgrade to continue to grow. We can continue to spiritually grow. So that is a pretty amazing gift. And this is what I'm teaching. So, yeah, that feels pretty cool. Anyway, we are gonna take our little break, go and pee or have a glass of wine or get into your comfies like I usually are. Still pretty warm in Chicago. And I will read from my book and we will kind of just take it in. So I will see you in a few minutes. I am back. So if you are new to these Wisdom Wednesdays, they're kind of like a mini retreat because it's like a one-day session. And it's similar to a one-on-one as well. Like a retreat, of course, usually goes over a few more days, either like a Friday to a Sunday or like a week. So it kind of gives time to kind of delve deeper through like layers over time, which is needed sometimes because that's how we kind of grow and allow this journey to be gentle and nice. So let's lay down wherever you are, lay and receive, whether you're on the couch or in the bath or in the shower or on the train or in the car, wherever you are listening. I'm going to read a little chapter of my book, The Ease of Being, that might be start coming out more published. So that's going to be fun. So this one is called Easy. allowing ourselves to be easy, to enjoy the nectar of ease, as easy as it can be, might seem kind of silly, as we want life to seem complicated, something to strive for, feeling it to be a great fight that we can conquer. But life can be quite simple, not needing anything for us to enjoy it. So simple that even a child can do it. There takes no special knowledge. It is truly inherent. So wonderful is this realization for us to just kick back, relax, and enjoy. Easy. Easy. There we are. So lay down. Let's let the energy come in. Yeah. So from our attention, it kind of comes in because it starts it comes from upside down, inside out. It comes up, from our intention into our head, into our mind, into our skull, into our jaw, down into our shoulders. Down into our belly, into our hips, into our thighs, into our knees, into our feet, and they kind of start heating up, or they get a little prickly and cold, tingly. And from there, they start to come. You can shake your hips a little bit, and they start coming up into the body again, into your hips, into your chest. Just like a breath, kind of like filling you. Just like laying in water, laying in the ocean, kind of feeling that kind of current coming up, like kind of like a cold breeze coming up when it's like warm on top and then cold underneath. And it comes up and be like, caresses your skin, tickles you. And it kind of comes up in your shoulders, and you can drop the shoulders a little bit more. And it comes in to your head just like a yawn, just like a smile, awakening, just as opening up your eyes in the morning, just with a yawn, with purpose, with like a stretch, like a cat stretching. Saying goodbye to the night. And just letting the daylight come in. Seeing the room, seeing the colors of meeting the day, meeting yourself. Saying good day, good morning. And letting the energy kind of come through. So you can come back. And yeah, we're we're done for this little energy motion, energy movement, energy play, energy awakening, energy support, consciousness support, spirit support. And yeah, I will talk to you again, either on DMs or on one-on-ones or the next retreat. There's going to be one in Norway in a month's time, beginning of August. So there we're going to move some energy. So that's going to be fun. And I hope you have a beautiful Wednesday, whether it's night, evening in Norway, or kind of morning in Chicago, or daytime wherever you are. And I hope you have a beautiful day. Talk to you later.